All right, I think I'm live here. Let's go up and try again. I'm going to try to do a live video of a review of this. This is the Fire Maple. Let me hold it up there. That is the Fire Maple Gas Lantern. Now, I ordered this through YouTube or through Amazon, and I was referred to it by um, a channel called Hillbilly Life with Leo that I just became accustomed to just recently. And he's got a channel where he does a lot of camping and adventures, and there's other people out there too that use similar gear that have gotten that I've started to follow here. He's just one of them. There's fantastic other channels that I'm following now that talk about camping gear and share camping life. And so I shared in a live that I did earlier today that I am shifting into 2025 with some starting to knock off bucket list items. You know, nobody's getting younger here. I'm going to be 59 in a year, and I've decided to knock off a bucket list item of going to the Dempster Highway and taking a trip up there. And as such, I am going to be doing reviews. If I can share screen here, I didn't know you could share screen here on YouTube like this. Let's see if I can figure it out. Go here. Yeah, okay. I'm going to share my window. So yeah, so I am doing a. This is the gentleman that I learned about. That I learned about the Fire Maple products through. So this product here that I'm going to do a quick review on. You can see in his channel he's got I think he's got a lot of Fire Maple gear. There's other people I follow too that do a lot of gear reviews that are really cool. This is the one I referred. I found it through, so I wanted to give credit to Hillbilly Life with Leo for turning me on to Fire Maple. So after watching his video, I actually ordered this product and I started to do gear reviews. Let me go back to here. So I'm going to start with this one, number one gear review. And you know, I got this. I saw other videos on it, and when I saw it, I thought immediately, you know, this isn't a Coleman lantern, and it's not a Petromax lantern at all. It's nothing like that. Uh, but it looked pretty cool, and I'm kind of a tech geek, or, you know, I'm kind of a gear geek. So I went ahead and got it. So let's see. Let's do a quick review of this together and see what we think of it. So let me turn my camera down just a little bit. I can figure out how to do this. So here we go. Here's the Fire Maple, and I'm going to say it measures. Let's do it this way. It measures about. I'm on the wrong end of the scale here. Well, I'm a professional reviewer. You can tell. You can see it kind of measures. If I line it up there, about 6 inches, and this way it's about. Looks like about 2.5, 3 inches. 2.5 to 3 inches. So that's the box that it comes in. I got this Saturday through Amazon. So let's go and open it up together and see what we got here. So I'm going to open this, go this way. And you see how you open it like this. And it's got a container that it comes in like this. It also comes with an instruction guide that a fellow like me doesn't really read too much about instruction guide. So we toss that over to the side. Then it also had down at the bottom this. And this is really interesting. This is a little canister, little capsule, and inside there is a little wire filament. It looks almost like a something for a diode almost. I don't know if you can really see it in the camera. I'm not going to take it out because it would be really easy to lose. But you use that to clean out the jets with this thing when they get clogged up after so much use. So I want to put that back in the box for now, along with the instruction guide. And we'll go back to this. So here's the container it comes in. It's just plastic, nothing fancy. But it should protect what's in here pretty well, I think. Now, I also bought, and I'll talk about it here in a little bit. I also got this because I own a lot of Coleman propane tanks that I use with like a little buddy heater, and I just keep around for emergencies only. This lets this switch from butane to propane, but I'm not going to review that right now. I'm just going to go with um, butane. This is a mix of butane and propane. And let's just put that aside for a moment, but let's look more at this little device here. So this is a Fire Maple gas lantern, and it comes packaged nicely here. It looks like it's protected really well, and got some nice bubble wrap that I'm going to try with all my heart not to start popping here. Set that to the side, and let's take a look at this for a moment. So You can see it says FireMaple on the side. Let me turn my light a little different, softer view, and then like that. So it says FireMaple, and that's made out of a nice, some sort of a brushed finish. And over here is the the uh, the wire uh, the wire connection that helps you adjust the butane flow into the device so you can light it. Then inside, it's got this glass interior like that, which has a little hollowed out area there that you can light it, or you could light it from the top from what I've seen in some videos. But we're going to light it from the front here for the first time, and it pops in pretty nicely. Inside, you can see those jets that I talked about there. Let me see if I can get you a close up of those. Set this to the side, and we'll get that up close there. I don't know if that's going to focus in. Ooh. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell in the light here, I think. Anyway, so you can see it. It's pretty high quality, and then down there's the connector, the male side that'll go into the butane container, and you just pop this back in like this. You can hear it snap, and it's pretty firm. And the idea is that after you light this bad boy, then you could turn this like this, and then it won't wind won't get in there and make the flame flip around. Now, what interested me in this thing was that, I've had candle lanterns in the past, and they were pretty cool. They were more for ambiance in a tent back in the day than real light, like a Coleman lantern or a Petromax lantern might deliver. But I was interested and saw it. It doesn't have a mantle, is what really interested me. So you don't have to worry about the mantle breakage, if you know what I mean. So those mantles break on those Coleman lanterns. You got to put a new one in and mess with all that. This one, you don't have to do that. It's just a flame that shoots out there like that. So let's turn this around. I'm going to turn around and snap it in. So it's like that. We'll light that in a minute. Let's just see what this thing's like. Let me turn off the light in my office here. I'll be right back. Okay, maybe, I don't know if I'll show this well when we light it or not, but we're going to try. So let's go in here. And this is just the Coleman propane, or propane in a Walmart's expensive. That's like 17 or 18 bucks for a container. This is butane propane mix, which I don't think is going to cause any issues with this. So we'll go down here, and that's the female side. Here's the male side. We're going to put it on top of here, and we're going to screw this in. Here we go. I'm going to make sure it's nice and snug. So my there we go. It's nice and snug. I'm going to get it too firm, but there we go. So it's secure now. Then over here, you can see pretty well connected. Then we're going to put it down here, and then this is the little lever. It pops out really easily like that, and you turn this. I think it's clockwise like this. So if you go clockwise, it's reverse for you, I think. For clockwise, it'll turn it off. So it's in the off position now. And when you turn it on, you're going to turn it counterclockwise to start the flow of butane up through this thing. And again, there's no mantle to worry about. This is just purely coming through those jets and the ability to light this. What I'm going to do is, let's try this. I've seen people online do this through the side, through this hole, and also through the top. I'm going to try through the side first and see what we get. So first time lighting this bad boy. Let's see what we get. So I'm going to turn it on. And there's probably a prescribed method if I'd read the directions on how far you need to turn it on. I don't, I'm not going to worry about it. So let's do this. I'm going to get over here, and I'm going to turn this on. Yeah, I hear it coming out now. Let's light this. And there we go. Let's see, it shoots up, and there we go. Now it's going down. Let's see what we get here. I don't know. Wish I could turn down the brightness on this thing. If I turn my light on the camera, it'll be better. Maybe. So you can see it's pretty dim. Let me turn that on. This is not immediately, I can tell, and I'm in my basement and the lights are off, but I can tell immediately that this is not going to be a replacement for a Coleman lantern, and I didn't expect it to be a replacement for a Coleman lantern at all. So let's try to adjust the flame. I'm going down and down and down. That's pretty good. And I don't know if you can really tell though. It's hard to tell. I think the brighter, let me see if I do that. Yeah, let's turn this off. Maybe it'll look better. It's hard to tell with my lighting. I'm not enough of an expert on how to do that. But if we look at it, that's pretty low, pretty dim there. And then if I look up and I start turning it counterclockwise, the flame gets bigger and bigger. I should really do this in a dark area so you get a better idea. That's about as much as I'd want to get because you're going to start getting smoke. Well, there's a little dog behind me. She's interested. It's going to start to get soot, I think, around the top, like a Coleman might do. So I'm not going to get much higher than that. But right about there, I'm going to say that you could read by this. You could do some basic work by this if you're out camping. This is not my immediate impression. I love the quality of it. It's cool. I love that it doesn't have the mantle. That's fantastic as well. Uh, but it is what it is here. And I knew this getting it that this wasn't going to be, a knockout blowout light with a lot of lumens type thing. This is more kind of ambiance. That would be kind of neat and easy. You don't. It's going to be pretty maintenance free. You don't have to worry about a mantle at all. So I keep going back to that. And for emergency preparedness, that'd be a fantastic thing to have in your house that you don't have to worry about a lot with it. Just set it and forget it. Just keep one in there, throw it in. This was I don't know, was this 30 bucks? I think there's like a 20% discount on Amazon right now. So this was like 20 bucks or I'm sorry, 30 bucks to buy this. And the propane tank I got at Walmart, that was I don't know, what was it, 7 or 8 bucks? So just throw this and keep it in your house. And for emergency preparedness, this would be pretty good if the power goes out for a while. It gives off some nice heat and would be good for that. Now, as far as serious gear to go camping with, no, it's not. That's not what this is. It's more an ambiance light, a dim light that would allow you to. Let me turn the camera back up to me. This would be, like I said, this would be an ambiance light. Nothing that's gonna blaze a path for you down a trail in the woods, or to count on to have great light uh, to be doing a lot of things you want to do when you're camping or out in the woods. That's territory for brighter flashlights, Coleman or a Petromax or something like that. So, anyways, let's try that again. Right there, goes up. The switch works great. I'm not going to go any higher than that because I think this would become a problem at that point. It's really good though. Do I recommend buying this? It depends on what your purpose is for this. If you are looking for something, let me turn that off now and flip that back up. It's remains cool to the touch here, a little warm up here. Do I recommend buying this thing? So again, I'm not paid by Petromax at all, and I probably will never be paid by anybody to do gear reviews, but that's not my main purpose here. It's to kind of just share what I'm trying to decide to add to my gear, planning for a trip down the Dempster Highway. Would I buy this? If my goal was to have a light that is going to do everything I need to do when I'm on a camping trip, that's not what this is. That's as I mentioned earlier, that's a big battery powered lantern, or a Coleman with the white gas, or Petromax, which is fantastic, and I hope to do a review of those. I've always wanted a Petromax. I'd like to try one at some point. That's not what this thing is. This is, like, as I keep saying, this is, I think this thing serves two purposes. One would be it's pretty cheap. Like I said, right now on Amazon, this is early 2025. This is, I think, $31 is what I got it for. And the one propane tank, or this is a butane propane mix that I got at Walmart for, like, I don't know what it was, even now, $5. Just keep it in your house for emergency preparedness, for a quick light if you need one. Again, you don't have to worry about mantles on it. It's just quick, easy to do. Just flip it a little bit, light it. You saw me do it. So that's one good use for this. I would say also that if you are camping and you don't, and you want, I'll call it an ambiance light. I think I've seen other reviews where people refer to it as more of an ambiance light, and I would agree with that assessment. That's what this thing's for. It's really cool. I love high quality products, and this definitely feels high quality to me. This isn't something, what's the brand Walmart sells, Ozark, whatever. It's not that. That's not what this is. This is a little higher quality, and I think that it doesn't fit in that same category as that kind of stuff. But this is the first one I'm doing. Will I be adding this to my Dempster Highway gear list? Uh, so that remains to be seen. Now it's in the running right now. I would just have some battery powered uh, flashlights and my Coleman lantern. I don't know, depending on the sort of RV we end up going with, if there's room for this to set it somewhere, yeah, probably I'll throw it in there. Just throw it in a closet, have this disconnected, wrapped up back in this. Let me get it back in its case so you see what I'm talking about here. You know, it's easy enough to store, and it looks like the protective case. Let me get it back in here. Came in this bubble wrap. It's cooled off nicely. Let's slide it back in here. Oh my goodness, get in there. It's a cold, cold January morning here in Illinois. It's we got down to 4 degrees last night. It's up to like 15 or 16 now, but we have a bunch of snow on the ground like most of the Midwest does, or at least a swath of the Midwest. So it goes in there easy enough, and you put it back in here in this little plastic container. It comes in, nice little container. It doesn't take up much space. It looks, not much bigger than somebody to have a pair of Oakleys and put them into a container. It looks a little bit bigger than that. So I take, will it go with us on the Dempster Highway? Yeah, I think it might. It's small enough. We'll have this, a little propane that doesn't take up a lot of space. I could see taking it with us. Now, I mentioned this earlier. I also bought with this thing. This is a propane adapter for this thing. And I haven't tried it yet. I've got a bunch of Coleman propane tanks, or the small propane cylinders. They're so damn expensive now, though. Those are like I bought that thinking that, hey, I'd like to try both the butane and also the propane tanks. But when I looked at the price of what the propane tanks are now at Walmart, wow, it was like 17.88. I think was the price for one. I'm talking about those green here. Let me see if I can show you the ones I'm talking about here. Let's go here. Share screen. Go back here to window. Go back to my buddy there that I've been watching his videos from in West Virginia doing camping. Let's go here. Go to Walmart, and we're going to Coleman propane. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. The price on these is outrageous here. I couldn't believe the price on these. Clicking on the wrong thing. So if you see my screen, yeah, these. So that's a 4-pack. These were at my local Walmart. They were like $17 a piece. Looks like this is a better deal if you buy them online to me. But the price is so much higher than they used to be. I've got a bunch that I keep in my, for emergency preparedness. I probably got, I don't know, probably 48 of these I've collected over the years that sit in storage for emergency purposes. And I've got a Buddy propane heater, and then a Coleman lantern that's powered by propane. So I've got enough of those to use with this as well, and that's where I got the propane adapter. But my overall take on this thing, as I mentioned earlier, let me go back to here. Do I recommend to buy this for $31? You know, I you know I think about the candle lanterns people can get, and they're some of those are more expensive, the high quality ones. Uh, am I going to keep this or return it? I'm probably going to keep it. I like it. I like the quality of it. I like the ease of it. I like that it does not have a mantle, knowing its limitations. It's definitely got limitations as far as the brightness it's going to give you. Uh, what do I give it on a score? Should I give it like a Portnoy score, David Portnoy score, scale out of 1 to 10? This, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm pretty tough scorer on this kind of stuff. So I'm going to say on a scale of 10, to be perfect, is something that I'd throw in to the storage area on my way on the Dempster Highway. Would I take this with me? I said yes earlier, and I think so, just because of how small it is, and throw a propane tank in there or a butane tank in there just to have it. I would probably do that. I would rate it, as far as gear that I like to have and gear I like to own. I would probably give this, I don't know, let's Portnoy it. I'll give it a 6.8 out of 10. 6.8. That's probably a little low, but that's my first inclination there. Because I thought it might be a little brighter, but I think you're getting exactly realistically what it's designed to do, and that is be more of an ambiance light. So that's it. That's my first gear review for things that I'm considering. I'll show you what I'm trying to do here. I am trying to plan for, let me pull this up. I am trying to, so late last year, I learned that, so I'm getting close to retirement. I'm 59 here in a month. And, I've been looking forward to retirement, my wife and I. And so we have been talking about how to get there. And I think with the current atmosphere with work and what I do, it may be a pretty good time to start doing that. And so we decided over the holidays to really start thinking about how do we start shifting into retirement and start doing things that we want to do. And one of those for me has always been this bucket list item of let me get directions here and show you the route we're going to go here. Yeah, okay, you can find out where I live. I don't really care. Let's see. I'm just going to say we'll say a town near me is Effingham, Illinois. Let's say that, and let's see what it maps out for a route for me here. Get in there and let's do it. Just thinking about it. I'm not going to walk. That's why it's taking so long, I think. Go here and then go here and then by car. Let's see the route it takes me here. Oh boy, there we go. All right, so we are going to go all the way from here's all the places I've been in my life. I try to map them all, but that's most of the places I've been in my life. Uh, so we're going to go from here. Looks like the route it's going to take us is up to Northern Illinois through Rockford on, I think that's 94, right? Up to the Twin Cities, across to North Dakota, and we'd cross. If I go on this route, we'd cross and go into, is that Manitoba, I'm guessing, or Saskatchewan. Then you go up here and go over to Edmonton and then go north. Now I mentioned earlier in another video, one of the things I was really interested in when I was younger is in this area of British Columbia, there's a book that I read when I was younger by a guy named Bradford Angier, and the book's still fantastic to read. I got it recently again. I'll show you the book. If you're interested in this stuff, this guy, and he died in 97 and he had a lot of books on survivalists, and he lived in a place called Hudson's Hope here in Northeast British Columbia. And he wrote several books that I used to read, particularly some of these right here. So they're old books and they're dated, and a lot of it doesn't apply anymore. But How to Build Your Home in the Woods, Living Out the Country, How to Stay Alive on Your Own in the Wilderness, At Home in the Woods. He had one later on. It was like How to Live in the Woods on Pennies a Day, right here in 1971. That was the first book I read by him, and he's been very influential for me in my life. Another one, as far as this is a way of living and what's resulted in me living uh, out in the country. The other one was this guy, Conrad Meineke, and I don't know if I'm going to get a match on him because he's not nearly as popular. I don't see it, but he wrote a book, um, how to build. I think it was just Build Your Cabin in the Woods. Great book, Your Cabin in the Woods. It's not going to get. He's so unpopular. It's not even going to be in there. But let me find it on Amazon because that's I know you can get the book there. Conrad Meineke, and there it is. So this was the other book that's been really influential on me. Your Cabin in the Woods, fantastic read. So all those things kind of led me towards one of my bucket list items being to make this trip from Southern Illinois up to the Dempster Highway, and then take that all the way up. This map's not going to show it. All the way up Fort McPherson, all the way up to the Arctic Ocean. So that is a trip that I wanted to do all my life, and the goal is that we would. It takes some time, but moving into retirement, I want to do some things that are really interesting and fun and different, and this would certainly be one of them. So to go up here and take, I don't know, month, 2 months to do this, camping along the way. Now I'm not a tent camper anymore. I'm not going to do that, but to be able to make this trip in an RV. Right now I've got a Ford F-150, and so I'd have to upgrade to a different truck or maybe a Class B motorhome. I don't know yet. We haven't decided that yet, but I'm not gonna. I'll bring a tent maybe, but this will be camping, in remote areas. I'm big into solar, so as much solar as I can, and we'll take our time getting up there. And one of my other goals is to sounds like a silly goal, but to use my telescope in as many different states or provinces in Canada and then the world, maybe as I get farther into retirement as possible, to take pictures of the skies with my telescope. I know, kind of a silly goal, maybe, but that's hey, it's my goal, so back off. So, but this is the big one. There's two of them we're planning trips this year. Excuse me. One is this one to go all the way up to the Arctic Ocean and then come back. Another one we have is to plan to go all the way around the Great Lakes. So go around this way. We lived up in this area for a while and spent a lot of time in the UP up here which is just a beautiful place up here to go up to go up into the Upper Peninsula up at Ontonagon, and there's the Porcupine Mountains up here, which is just beautiful. It's right here, Porcupine Mountains. It's just a beautiful area to move to, or not move to. We talked about moving there, but it's really remote. There you go. If you've never heard of that, in the Midwest, it's about as pretty as it gets. Lake Superior is just way there in the distance. You can hardly see it, but this is a beautiful lake that you can see, and the vistas are just amazing. Uh, so make that trip around Lake Superior. Definitely be another goal of ours in an early trip that we do, and then go up on the Canadian side up to it's called Lake Superior Provincial Park. So that's another trip we're planning. That would be up here. Up into here. I forget where it's at exactly. Somewhere in here. I wanted to do it years ago and I never did, but camp out in here, and then go to Lake Superior Provincial Park, and then go all the way around the Great Lakes, and then come back here. So 2025, there's two big trips that we're planning, and as I mentioned earlier at the outset, uh, when I do that kind of thing, I'm kind of the I'm a tech geek and a gear geek, so I've been looking at different things to add to my collection of things I'd take with gear, and this is the first one I got. Again, they are not sponsoring me. What did I give them? A 6.8 out of 10, I think. Is that what I said? That's pretty good. I'm pretty stiff. I'm the kind of guy on the Portnoy pizza scale. I'm pretty tough. I'm a pizza connoisseur, and if I apply that to gear, same thing. Uh, most pizzas for me get in the fives and sixes, but same with gear. The Ozark stuff that you get at Walmart's not going to cut it with me. The quality's there, uh, but it has a certain purpose, right? Absolutely has a certain purpose, and that's what it needs to be there for. Not to replace really bright lights or flashlights you have, but I'm going to call it an ambiance light, just to create enough light to do something simple, really simply. When you light it, you saw me do the review or the lighting of it there, how simple it really was. Uh, so that's it. That's my first review of the FireMaple Orange Gas Lantern, small enough, compact enough to throw somewhere, into your gear and just have it. Very, very lightweight. I would throw it in again last time with the caveat of know what it can do and what it can't do, but it's fantastic for me to add for that certain ambiance and the ease of it. It's probably going to live more just in. I've got a room. I think I showed another video on making wine. It's got all my like food prepper stuff, and I keep some not survivalist, but it's the tinfoil hat stuff that people keep, or I keep anyway, as well. I call it a semi prepper. This will probably live in there in that closet. So if for whatever reason, the grid shuts down for a while, or we had Saturday night here. This is early January. Power went out all night long because I live way remote, and we had a snowstorm, and I don't know what happened. I think some drunk guy may have hit a power line or something, but we were without power, and I've got battery backup, so I had Starlink, so I kept internet, but we didn't have any other power in the house. Would have been nice to have that, right? But I've got flashlights and lanterns that got me by. But for an extended period of time, this would be really nice to have for simple light that maybe you just keep running on your, in my case, in the island in my kitchen, and you just got it then. Is it going to light up the whole house? Heck no. But as a cheap item, again, about $31, I think I paid on Amazon for this, just to have it sitting there for those situations. That's that's pretty good, and I like the fact that uh, it's a reliable light from what I can see, and it's got everything you need to maintain it. Excuse me, keep the jets cleaned out, which I don't know you're gonna have to do that very often. But I like it, and I'll keep it. I'm not gonna send it back. So that's the first gear review. Excuse me. The next one I'm gonna do is probably going to be I'll show you here. Um, it's one of, if you're familiar with a rocket stove. Now I've got like Coleman stoves, but I'm interested in different gear. So if I go here, and let me share this with you. This is probably my next review. I'm deciding on which one to get right now. The several out there. I've looked at this one. So here's one I'm looking at. So this is my next. Help me pick out the next one. What should I review next? This is the rocket stove. It's 39 bucks. I've watched some videos on this. I get how it works. And if you know the principle of a rocket stove, they're pretty cool in the way when you drop sticks or leaves or small pieces of lumber that you've or wood that you chunked into smaller pieces, and you put it in that little box there. Here, sorry, I can't really show it. Uh, then all it's in. They're supposed to be insulated so that they will then channel all that heat up this little channel here, and you put your skillet or whatever on top of there, and it gives you incredible heat for just just crap you find in the woods to power it by, right? You don't need a lot for this. You just go gather up a few sticks, and and you're off to the races. So that's one of them I'm considering. That I wasn't. I'm not considering that one actually. I'm kidding you if I say I am. There are some that I am looking at. Petromax is the one I'd really love to get, but they're pretty pricey. You're gonna want to have a deep pocketbook to get Petromax stuff, which I'm not averse to doing if I think it's high enough quality and meets the need that I have. This is the one I was watching videos recently on. This is a rocket stove by who makes that? It's in the EchoZoom store. That's not exactly the one I was looking at. I think there's a number of them. They're probably made in China. This is the one I was looking at, and then people just stamp their name onto it. This is the one I'm looking at here. It's a very similar to the Petromax. The top of this is cast iron, and you can see down here that is I don't the those it's like a glass fireproof window so you can see the flames inside, and then down below it here you slide in. I'm sorry, no, that's not what this one is. You slide in your sticks on this little channel here. It's not a glass at all. Some of them I think had that, or that when you close that, but you see the insulation here, right? It's very heavily insulated, and so channels all that fire up into there to give you an incredible amount of heat to boil water or cook on or whatever. Way different than taking a Coleman gas stove with you, right? Way, way different. So this is probably the one I'm leaning towards right now. Price wise, it's not too bad. See, you can put it says twigs, branches, tree bark, pine cones, charcoal. So you don't need Coleman gas with this one. So I'm really thinking about doing that and just testing it and see what I think of it. Really cool, right? There it is in use. There's a lot of videos on these. That's the one I'm leaning towards right now because I think a Petromax to get it in the United States is pretty darn pricey if I can find it here. There's another one basically the same, 150 bucks. That's pretty pricey. Only Fire, that's one I've seen a lot on. See, it's the same one though, I think. It looks exactly the same as the other one, right? But the price is a lot higher. So I got to watch what I'm doing here. That's only 99 bucks rather. So that one's a little better price. The Petromax one, Petromax. Let's see if they got it on here. There we go, right there. 158. There's really no I can't find any American reviews. Now, Petromax, if you're familiar with them, that's a company in Germany, and they make a lot of gear, high quality gear, uh, for Europe, in European campers, I think. From what I remember of Petromax years ago, I about bought one of their lanterns because I love the quality of it. But I would get that. That's 158 bucks. Do I really need that? Will that other one do? There's different features to this one than the other one I showed you there. So I don't know which one I'm getting. I'm thinking about which one I want. But that's probably going to be the next one I do a review on is a rocket stove. Speaking of Petromax, here is man, I got this one. I might be in divorce court. I don't know though. This is this is a Petromax lantern. Look at the size of that mantle on it, and really, really high quality. Their stuff's really, really high quality, from what I can tell. I'd love to do a review on that, but I don't think I'm going to pay 158 bucks for a lantern when I've already got. I'm a collector of lanterns like this, of Coleman lanterns, of different ones. I I don't know. If that's $324. You kidding me? I would be in divorce court real quickly if I bought that one. So I'm probably not going to get the Petromax unless I can find one used on eBay or something like that. So I'd love the dual fuel one. I've thought about that one for years. But anyway, for the next review, it's probably going to be a rocket stove. And will it be the Petromax? I don't know. It's 158. The other one I was looking at was what? How much was the other one? This is the only Fire, which looks to be a clone. That's only 99. So that's what's that? What's that? $60 cheaper. And then here's one for 90, which looks like exactly the same one again by Skyflame. So that's 90 bucks. So that's what? That's 70 bucks cheaper. This one looks just like a cheap stovepipe to me. And this one I'm not. That's a backpacker basic one. Not don't think I'm interested in that one. This one is 150, and I've seen several reviews on that one that looks like that. not stainless steel, like painted, and that's 150 bucks. So I'm probably going to lean towards this $90 one. I'm going to do a little more YouTube research before I get one. I'd love to get to Petromax. I just would, just because I'm just, quality names like that. I just have an affinity for those, for the quality it's associated with and it comes with. And so I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure which one I'm going to get. If anybody has any feelings, if anybody really ever watches this video, tell me what you think there. Which one should you go for? The other thing I'm thinking about doing is, let me show you here. Uh, is now I'll give a shout out to these people too. If you're not familiar with them, hold on here. Let me find it here. Go here, go to YouTube, go to there's a channel out there called Provident Prepper, and these are folks in Utah. And if you're familiar with anything about the Latter Day Saints, is they really are focused on. I think it's as a if you are a member of the Latter Day Saints Church, it's a very important thing to be prepared. I think the requirement is, or the recommendation, I don't know because I'm not Mormon, is that you need to have a year's worth of food set aside. And I admire that, and I've tried to do that. And when you think about that, that's not much different than. Let me show you this video real quick. I'm not going to play it, but I want to. Another thing I want to do a review on. But let me get out of this. Okay, get past the ad. Get past the ad. Okay, this thing. So these are good folks, and they do a lot of great videos on preparedness and having things put away. So I'm I think this is another thing I may do a gear review on because it's really cool. It's called an Instafire, the Instafire Ember, and this is basically an oven that is not powered by white gas, kerosene, no gases at all. What it's powered by is in this section down here. You pull this little tray out, and it's powered by like wood, uh, uh, twigs, leaves, anything like that. I watched this video these folks did and got it up to 350 degrees. And they interview the guy later on in the video who invented this. It's a pretty cool little device. So it's an oven that you could bake in that's powered by twigs and sticks and wood and things like that. And it really intrigues me. I'm thinking about getting this thing and doing a review on that as well. Because my goal is in this trip that we're doing is to, and the type of person that likes to be self sufficient, and so not relying on you know stuff from the manufactured world like white gas. To have something like this and just set it around the home for emergency preparedness or to take on a camping trip is highly, highly interesting to me. I haven't seen if there's many other reviews on this thing, but I looked and saw where there's a lot of people who in this world buy this just for emergency preparedness. So I might do this as another review, but I'm not sure. The rocket stove is the one I'm thinking about next, rivaling this one in consideration for adding to my camping slash emergency preparedness gear. Anyway, I hope you enjoy. It was a long time. I know nobody's going to watch this whole stinking thing, but if you did, I really appreciate you doing that. Stick with me. I'm going to try to do reviews of other things as I'm preparing for a trip into Canada, going all the way to the Arctic Ocean, and also around Lake Superior coming into the future. So if either of those topics interest you in retirement, especially, because it's like this is about bucket list item stuff to me. It's like, I'm 59 or going to be 59 in a month, about a month and a week. I want to get as many things knocked off on my bucket list, this type of stuff as possible before, you get older in life and you just don't feel like doing it. So this is where I'm focused for 2025. Hope you enjoyed that quick review of this thing. Really simple, quick review. And I said what I had to say about it. And stay tuned for more. And God, what do they say on here? I've shared another video in a live. I do a lot more on TikTok than I do on YouTube now. On TikTok, I'll put it into the chat here. I am at Midwest History. Hope you see that in the chat. That's where I am on TikTok, and I do a lot more there because frankly I'm monetized there, and it's to do lives on there so much easier. When you do a live on TikTok, you can have people join very easily and have a conversation. Hard to do here on YouTube. Now, I don't know if TikTok's going to be around much longer, so Uh, if it isn't, hey, I'll just do the stuff on YouTube again. That's all I've really got. So, boy, I noticed all the junk I've got back here. I got my old books from consulting, and then I've got there my GMRS radios. Um, looking forward to getting into more of that as I get into retirement too, and maybe do some videos on that. There's a lot out there. A lot of people do stuff on that, so I don't know if that add much to anybody. But nobody watched this live, I don't think. But if you did, maybe there are a few people I saw got on. But hey, that's okay. I'm gonna share what I'm doing here as an outlet. I hope you really enjoy your day. If you did watch this, or if you do happen to have time to watch it, what do they say? Like and share, whatever it is. Like, share, subscribe. But I'd really like to provide something that's interesting, sharing a pretty personal part of my life here and what I want to do with bucket list items. I hope you enjoyed parts of it if you watched it, and have a great day and a fantastic 2025. Thank you.